We'll do an EFT tapping on, intuitive EFT tapping on the trap of labeling oneself. And with all EFT Tap and Chats, we'll do 3 setup statements and then we'll go into the round. Okay, so, and taking full responsibility for our well-being, let's begin to tap. Even though I have these labels in life and they truly define me, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though all these labels I've been given, sometimes they feel like they just don't stick, like they're not truly me. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I have all these labels, and I might be defining myself with these labels. And some of these labels might be limiting me. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. All these labels that I've been given, all these labels, they truly define me, of what I've been told in life, of what I truly am. All these labels. Because these labels know me best. These labels define me. They truly define me. Or do they confine me? Do they limit me? Am I being limited by these labels? Am I truly understood by these labels? When someone looks at me, are they looking at me? Or are they looking at my name badge? Hello, my name is, and that's my label. And when I look at my life, for all my experiences, and possibly for all my job experiences, for all my emotional experiences, if I was to label each one of them, I'd almost be covered in labels. And by labeling something, you almost become removed from it. Removed from the experience that gave you the label. All those experiences. All those experiences in life. Or maybe the label was just the end result of something. Kind of like when you plant a seed in the ground, the seed grows, becomes a tree. Perhaps it becomes an apple tree. It's had all those experiences of growing. Might have been some few storms you had to weather. I got a bit scarred along the way. But one day, you produce an apple. And this is your apple. Through all your experiences in life, through all your nurturing, growing in this as a tree, you've produced something in life. And someone's come along and said, it's this particular type of apple. And I've named that apple. And that's what that apple is now. But by just labeling the apple, pays no regard to the experiences that created that apple. It's just the end result. All those millions of years of formation of the earth, humans only being a blip on the radar. We've given the earth north and south names. With no real regard with how it came into formation. Well, there's no real up and down in space. So without knowing the entirety of an experience, of a human experience, of a natural organic experience in life, we have been shaped by those that nurtured, by those that care, by those that don't care. The apple that you've produced may be perceived as a bad apple or a good apple. But regardless, that's the best you could do with the nurturing that you had. And to label something without that depth of knowledge and that depth of understanding of someone's experience, maybe a mislabeling. Maybe that apple goes out in life completely mislabeled. So rather being confined by our label, I'm choosing to free myself from these labels. I'm choosing to free myself from the attachment of these labels. Because this label doesn't define me. And this label doesn't direct my future. Because in the end, it might be just noise that someone's made up to say this defines you. I'm freeing myself from the attachment of these labels. I'm not identifying with these labels. I'm going to dig a little deeper. deeper than what the labels say. And look back in my life. And see how it came to this label. Because when we have understanding of ourselves, we start to free ourselves from these labels. Freeing ourselves from these labels. Detaching from these labels. I'm changing every day. Who I am today is not who I am tomorrow. It's part of the human experience. It's how we evolved. So I'm continually evolving and freeing myself of these labels in body, mind, and spirit. Taking a deep breath in. So, as I said, this will be probably a part 1 of a part 2, because I realized that with a labeling becomes a sense of identity. So it's, I guess, important to talk about identity as well. And it's something that I've really hesitated having to talk about. It's kind of a big topic. And right at the end there, I said evolving, and humans have been an evolutionary thing. We've constantly learnt, developed, and all that. So rather than learning labeling yourself into a cage, just freeing yourself, it's like our terminology for something will completely change probably later in life, sort of thing. It's like, I do remember talking about where we used to refer to ourselves as records. It's like we get stuck in a groove in something, sort of thing. And this is before computers. Then computers come along, we start to reference ourselves as computers, sort of thing. It's like there'll probably be something else down the track that we start referencing ourselves. But knowing of yourself, and that as you change, as you develop, and that you constantly learn and grow, even past your set age, you can actually free yourself and become a lot more open-minded, I guess. I was going to say narrow-minded, but become more open-minded, not less narrow in your view. You become more open. So that's what I've got to say about labeling. Just knowing that, and I'm not saying that that the label that you've been given might not attribute to how you're presenting, but I'm just saying maybe looking at the actual circumstances that actually got you there. And EFT is one of those things that actually peel back those layers. It actually helps reduce some of those stressful stuff that when you do start looking inward, that it actually helps alleviate that. Because sometimes when we just talk about our emotions, we can get quite stressed, or even in our breath rate can become quite stressed, and just reliving for a cognitive sense. This actually helps reduce in the subconscious. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm down from Eflowtion, one of the EFT tapping and Soma breath instructors at Eflowtion, along with my wife Rebecca. So if you're interested in booking in a session, maybe freeing yourself from some labels, or just freeing yourself from physical or emotional discomfort, definitely book in. And I think I'll end this session by clicking start. Start is my end. I'm labeling start end now. Okay, all right, it's been cheeky. See you later.